Alright, welcome back to Black Lodge Trivia Night. This is Art, and we are obviously continuing our Lord of the Rings online book quests. Last time we finished Book 10 of Volume 3. It was a long session. I mean, and some of it was my own. Oh, look at that, another player. Level 87. I think that's a Mariner. It's part of the new expansions. Yeah, we started Book 11, which is, so Book 10 was basically, it was good. I really liked it. It was basically dealing with the existential threat of Ner'zhum. I think we've handled Ner'zhum. I don't know if, I thought that's what it was implying, that when we sort of recruited Ents in the local forest to tackle Ner'zhum and chase Ner'zhum away, I felt like that's sort of what was going on. Ner'zhum, in my mind, was defeated, but I guess we'll figure that out if that's actually true. We dinged level 82. My inventory is kind of full. That's why I'm leaving these icons up for now. I usually try and clear that stuff off.
Plans to defy the word of his king.
And yeah, so again, you know, Horn's gonna make a move and say like, hey, look, you know, Theoden's corrupted. We gotta protect Rohan. We gotta make a move. So Horn plans to defy the word of the king. Let's bump that up. That cannot have been an easy decision for him to make, but I understand what has driven our friends to make it. Horn may be imprisoned or worse, but if his tidings can break the king's reverie, it might be the only action that can save the people of Rohan from their enemies. The survivors of Bir-Tor are now well enough to travel. Nona and I will bring them to the city of Forlaw, while Horn brings his message to the king. And we will rejoin him when we can. I think it would be unwise to enter the court of Theoden in the company of a Dunlending girl, even one proven so true as Nona. And it is not she alone who would raise the hackles of the Rohirrim. An elf of Lorien would be as unwelcome, am I mistaken? And we also had a number of, like, interludes provided to us through Gleowine's map, giving us an update on what's going on with the Grey Rangers.
The king must hear what happened in Wildemore.
Gleowine listens to your account of Horn's decision to defy the word of the king and smiles. Horn can count me with him. I will return to Edoras in defiance of Theoden, king whom I serve without question in all things save for this. For I believe it is right. I am not afraid of death. Sorry, I'm about to cough on a piece of peanut I just ate. Get a quick drink. All right. I'm not afraid of death. If the king orders it, I will be the first to praise his justice and will surrender to his headsman without complaint. The king must hear of what happened in Wildemore. I am certain he will listen when he hears what Horn has to say. All right. So now we're going to go back to Horn in the other cave. Yeah, so priority is I need to hit up a vendor, repair equipment, and just sell stuff so I can take care of whatever this business is. And obviously I've got a bit of a stack of side quests I can do if I need a little help getting
remains a mystery to me.
To 83, but I'm hoping I'm okay for the moment since the book quest is orange. I know now what the rest of us will do, but one path remains a mystery to me. On what path will you walk? Will you come with me to Edoras? I do not ask you to defy Theoden King, my friend. I will understand if our paths must now separate. I would not blame you. That is most like the way of wisdom. It is with my heart I must make this choice for myself, but I would not presume to make it for you, by head or by heart. His voice is casual, but you can tell from his eyes that worry lurks just beneath the surface. With a comforting smile, you tell him that you will accompany him to Edoras, for the good of Rohan's people, though it be against the command of their king. Sorry, same peanut was about to... Horn's relief is tangible and sudden. Black Lodge, you are as great a fool as I am, and I am overjoyed to say it. 3 men and an elf, all returning to Edoras against the command of the king, and in the company of a Dunlending girl would be too great an insult. We defy the king, but still seek to be polite. Is this madness? The two of us and Gleowine should now travel to Hunbald at the Entwade crossing, and tell him we will not be turned away. All right. Talk to Hunbald at the Entwade and the Sootcrofts. All right, so I think we might be... Are we done here? Did I miss my turn on getting out of the cave? I did. Here we go. Now, there's a bunch of stuff here. Croft too far. What's, Got a daily hunt, which is lighting up some of these. Yeah, I really need to hit up some kind of supplier. I kind of expected there to have been more like kill 12 snowstalkers. Like, they're here, and maybe I'm just missing quest chains at the moment that... because I haven't advanced the ones I currently have on the list there to the right, but, yeah, I don't know. By the time this goes up, I would have posted one of the YouTube shorts I put up from session 40. Can't believe there's been 40 sessions. It's nuts. It's nuts. So, you know, I was sort of like, you know, because in my personal YouTube feed, like I have the Black Lodge one, but you know, that's Black Lodge. So but you know, when I'm using my own name and YouTubing stuff like microphone reviews ad nauseum to the point where it's disturbing. You know, one of the things that pops up in my feed, because I do subscribe to Black Lodge just to, you know, check the videos and make sure they, you know, look okay and see how it works and et cetera, et cetera. The first episode of this run showed up from the algorithm, and it was really interesting. That wasn't that interesting. It never is. I get that. But it was a little bit interesting to go back and, you know, just see walking through the character creation. I wonder in the moment, it didn't strike me this way, but in the moment I was deciding which character I was going to play. I wonder if there was ever an inkling of like, maybe I'll just do a burglar run. Because I you know, I've mentioned I've got a level 86 Warden, and I think Wardens are my favorite class. But I have a level 86 Warden. But I think what I started to realize was like, this might be, because of this Let's Play, this might be the one that gets me, you know, to the level cap. And if I did it with a burglar, I've got like a level 60, 50 something burglar. If I did it with a burglar, I don't know if I would go back to the Warden. Like I've sort of joked, once this hits 86, this could be my main. That could be, it will be. So I'm supposed to kill these Warg Riders. I'm going to skip that. I wonder what's to my right, though. Did I just screw this up? So, yeah, I just wonder if I made the right choice in my mind. I'm glad I didn't go with a burglar. That would have been a lot of fun. I gotta say that. I've enjoyed my time with the burglar, and, yeah. It would have been interesting. I wonder, would I have ever... I don't see myself getting to the level cap twice. There's just too many other things to play. You know, speaking of one of the other things to play, you know, it has been my Tainted Grail. Now, Matt and I've probably said this already, Matt and I have been trying to talk up, like, okay, are we serious about Bonfire Walk with Me? The short answer is yes, we are serious about Bonfire Walk with Me. But if we are serious, how do we start scheduling all this stuff? There's other things. There's one other thing we were talking about doing, which was a genuine Twin Peaks rewatch. And again, like, if we're serious about that, like, you know, we don't, you know, we, you know, if you've seen, you know, any of the tabletop RPG content and how it's not really consistent. There are periods when we're really good, there are periods when we're really not. And I feel like we're trying to get better.
What is this world coming to?
Why are the fishermen all up in our biz? Okay, so he's a signature, so I should be going way more defensive. Well, that took exactly 5 minutes for the lag to... Anyway. But yeah, we talk about these other things that we want to start doing and how we're gonna... And, you know, so Tainted Grail, like... So then there's only so many videos we can release in a week. One, not to overcrowd things, but two... You know, because of the editing time required and stuff like that. Okay. Mercy. Yeah, I don't want to kill you, man. I don't know.
What is this world coming to?
Okay, it doesn't look like he's going to attack us. Why is an outsider wandering the witch shaws? Let's see what he actually wants us to do.
Stay and hear me out.
Defeat Warg Riders. Decline. No, it's not personal, man. I just do not give a shit about fighting.
Invaders have wrought this misery
I'll collect your nets. But, like, you're seeing, like... There's multiple levels to my dislike of the riding mechanic, right? It's not just that I don't want to engage in riding on my war mount. It's that any enemy that sort of wants you to participate in those mechanics, I don't want to do either. So... Yeah, anyway. But yeah, it ends up like, you know, how much schedule can fit in, and like, Tainted Grail... What I'm wondering, or what I'm worried about, is if, depending on how scheduling and release schedules and et cetera, if I had to choose, I would absolutely choose continuing this Let's Play over the Tainted Grail. Tainted Grail has been really interesting, but I think I've said it on those Tainted Grail recordings, like, I don't know if every moment is worth recording. I have like a war game channel as well, and usually what I'll do is I'll play a couple of turns, and then after that I'm just like...
curses in the world for the invaders of the lands of Rohan.
You know, I don't know if every minute of every turn is worth watching. I'm going to remove this. I'm going to cancel this, actually, is what I want to do, because I'm not going to go kill 10 anythings. I guess we're heading back there, but anyway. Probably cancel these. They're sort of lost potential whenever I thin the herd a little bit here. Like, what could have been? What were some of these stories? Because some of them took me places that I did not expect, and now I'll never know in some of them. Anyway. Yeah, let's get down to Forlaw. Anyway, it's a long-winded way of saying, like, you know, if I would absolutely choose this Let's Play over Tainted Grail. Maybe there's a way to check in. The one I haven't checked in, I was doing X3 for a while, and I was looking at some of the videos, and I did a Farnham's Legacy. And my intention with those was always to check in. And and so maybe there's a way to do it that way. The problem is, and something I've also learned about myself with, like, the Wargaming channel, if I'm not recording every minute of every turn, I might not play it. And that's, like, because so many other things, take on a more immediate necessity. They feel more like, oh crap, this is right in my face and I need to do it. When I don't need to check in, all these schedules are made up and in my own head, but when I don't have a self-imposed check-in schedule, so to speak, everything that I do have a self-imposed check-in schedule starts to jump the line. And I don't want to lose sight of Tainted Grail because I've really enjoyed that game so far, but I just don't feel like every minute of it is worth it. Unless I just attempt to sort of do what I'm doing here, which is mainline the story. Okay, we're getting reduced awareness, which I think is a thing when you're having, lag. Anyway, a lot of this started, I was talking about my YouTube feed in the first one. I also put up a short like that, sort of had a countdown for the lag. That may not be entirely fair, but like, it's just like, come on. Yeah, my intention wasn't to be like to punch down or anything like that, but yeah, it's just whatever.
These lands are not to be traveled lightly.
Okay, let's repair these and let's start. No, I was about to say I clicked it, but then I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm having warnings about lag. So of course, why am I expecting it to? Iris. I think this was something I might have picked. Thinking it might be a quest item, level 70. Definitely. I feel like I can sell these. I feel like, yeah, I don't know if these flowers are part of a... Yeah. Like some kind of quest or something where I had to pick flowers in the woods. Okay, so what's this earring? Because I'm picking... I'm minimum level 85. It's pretty good. It's going to be a nice bump in health. So I'll hold on to that. In fact, I'm going to lock it. These things, these essences, like, they're just overwhelming my inventory, and I just don't know what to do, how to take advantage of them, what's worth it. Should I just dump them because I'm going to get a bajillion of them anyway? This is part of why they're overrunning my inventory. Yeah, I'm hesitant to click the next thing before I hear that ching, cha-ching. Okay, so before we do anything, let's loot this. Let's get this open for free. And let's take a look at this. Okay, we know about that. Close. Known to the Wildermore. Okay, that's not bad. Okay. So now there's, what's blue? Respect for the Fallen is kill bowmasters near memorials. These two are probably easy to tackle together. I mean, if the bowmasters are easy to track down, maybe it's not so bad. So I mentioned war games, and at the time of this recording, I've been trying to like actually purge my collection a little bit, and there's a marketplace where you can sell war games, and it's been really, really great in the past, and recently everything I try and put up there, all my posts end up getting stashed in like a pending pile. And I don't know, I messed up on one order. I've been, I think, really good about being like a good citizen of that Facebook group. And there was one order I thought I messed up. I thought I checked, and I must have confused it for something else that I checked or didn't check. I don't know. And so something went wrong, and I can't tell if there's any correlation, which is perfectly fine. You got to make sure everybody's got their stuff buttoned up, because it's a marketplace built on trust first and foremost. But I was just like, is that it? Or it's like, I'm trying to figure out like, why is everything? And then all of a sudden, it's like, it would take a couple days to review. Some of them sat there, they're still in there for like weeks. And I don't know if there's a trick to getting them out of purgatory, or if there's something else. So I've been trying to navigate that, because I'd love to unload some stuff, get them into homes of people that might play them. The point of all that is to say, like, I don't understand what the Facebook Marketplace is doing. Like, it's not clear, who reviews this. Is it meta? Is it somebody in the group? What triggers it? I know, like, war games deal with topics that are, triggering, difficult, I get all of that, but I was just trying to figure out, like, what do I need to do to fix this? Or is it anything I can do? Or do I just need to assume these posts are lost to time? It just wasn't clear. What is this one? Is it... Defeat Orc Scout. Is that where we are? I guess so. I'm not finding any bowmen. I'll say that. Man, I don't know if I mentioned it. I apologize. You see the rabbits there. One of the nice things about our town, I apologize if I already mentioned this. It's giant. We have rabbits. We have wild rabbits. We had 4 living in our backyard, basically. And the other day, we had like a massive hawk hunt one, but like 5 feet from our porch. I don't know if it was just being bold, or if it understands that, like, as human beings we're all talk. I have no idea. But and I tried. The rabbit was not. I feel bad about this. I should have let just nature take its course. But the rabbit wasn't dead immediately. So I tried to scare the hawk away, but I feel like, what was I doing? Like, the rabbit wasn't going to be in good shape. So I should have just left the hawk be. But I gotta say, it was a little sad. They're obviously not our pets, but we shared space with them. And so it felt like 1 degree separated from pets, maybe, if that makes any sense. We liked that they seemed mostly comfortable around us and felt safe. And then, a giant goddamn hawk just landed on one and made us watch it eat the poor thing. Yeah. So I don't know where any of these things are. I'm trying to see what is at this one, because I know that's like a camp. What's this? Croft too far? No. No. On the offensive. What's on the offensive? Collect work. Okay, that one might be easy to do. Rest easy. Okay, so that's pretty easy to do if I just get over there to the northeast. Anyway, it's Circle of Life stuff. That was right in our face. And again, like the hawk, beautiful creature. I was not able to scare it away, but at the same time, again, I don't know if the hawk was like, yeah, I know this dude's not going to hurt me, or if it's just like I risked it all to get this food, and I'm going to risk it all to eat it because it's a question of survival. I have no idea. We didn't know if the hawk was actually injured because it was just sort of sitting there, and we figured it would have gotten scared away. But apparently that's not actually all that unusual for a hawk to just take a minute to sit with its prey. So around here is supposed to be a captain. I don't see... Oh, there it is. Now, if you hold still, this will be fine, but if you're going to run around... Especially as a signature. This is brutal. So I might die here because I'm getting, 3 enemies attack me. The captain's gone. The lag is throwing off some of my gambits. And so now it's 4. Like, I'm just trying to heal. Didn't register that. Well, register at that time it did. Okay. That one's already dead, I got that, but I just want to... Nope, it's not registering. So that's the thing, like, I assume that my gambits fired off to get some healing going, and then I look up, okay, so like that one registered it in the wrong order. So it didn't heal, it did a boot, which I have no need to do. Now I say, like, I would choose this Let's Play over the Tainted Grail, but Jesus Christ, like, again, 4th, 5th episode in a row, like, this lag is untenable. Just, punch that on your bingo card, take a shot if that's the drinking game you're playing. Yep, doubled up on that one. Get rid of that effect. Oh, wait, look at that gambit. It's just total trash again, because I thought it fired off. It did not. Still hasn't. There we go. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about the captain. Like, all this stuff is, who cares? So given that, let's make our way back to... We're trying to get there. So we need to get to Garsfeld. Oh, there's the captain. Let's see if we can just do this real quick. What I need to do is I need to get some bleeds going, because while he's running around creation, at least I can still do damage. But if the other guys start to return, then I might just say screw this, because I don't need to deal with another 4 riders. So does that register as a... what? I don't know. Maybe nothing. Nope, that's going to be wrong. So it didn't register my shield. And you're saying, like, well, why don't you just jump on your horse and deal with this? And the reason why is because then I'm going to be riding around all creation. And maybe it'll get done faster. I have no idea. But I just don't want to zip around, aggro 17 other things. You know, like, that bleed's not going to be enough to kill him, but I'm not going to go after him because I don't want to deal with that rider. And but I am now, because fuck mounted combat. This didn't register the bleed, so it's the wrong gambit. There we go. I don't know where the rider went. Basically, I need to head south, I think. I could just head east and then down. So I'm in combat. Let's head east, get out of the snow areas, I guess. Okay. I guess let's get to Harwick. Hopefully there's like a stable somewhere. Still has me in combat. I wish that would end so I can mount up. Again, it's always fun to see your progression. Like a number of sessions ago, these creatures were killing me as I bitched about lag, and now they're way under leveled green as I bitch about lag. So yeah, it's tough. Like, you know, I sit there saying like, you know, oh, I'd prefer this Let's Play over the other one, but man. Now, I have to confess, I actually don't know. Is there a stable? Yes, okay. And I'm trying to get to the Soot Crofts, which I assume is the South Crofts. So that would be Stablemaster Garsfeld, if that's an option.
Will you aid the Horse Lords?
Croftlands. Snowborn might be near it, right? Snowborn gets me there, so let's do that. None of that matters. It's whatever. Part of me is like, well, I don't know. Like the one tricky thing, like, you know, when Matt and I are doing like bonfire walk with me with the soul stuff is, like sometimes when I need to get B-roll footage, like I'm nervous, like, do I keep getting B-roll footage? Because at some point, like, I don't know if I have the time to replay Dark Souls 2 to grab stuff. Or I don't know if I have the time to replay Elden Ring to grab B-roll. So I'm not sure what to do. Maybe just, you know, because sometimes I feel like it adds something to actually see the in-game whatever, but I'm wondering, that may not be feasible. It may just be on us to talk about it. Okay, so we're coming up to Garsfeld, which I think is relatively nearby. Now, what's a croft too far? Aid Langar. Okay, what's the other one here? A hungry inhabitant. Find food for Lang. Oh, right. Right. Find food for his cat. How do we do that? The food can likely be found near the mead hall of Garsfeld. You know what? I'm actually going to do this because this is such a stupid quest. This is such a dumb quest that it must be completed. I don't know where. Okay. So we're going to find a bucket full of fish. Now, in theory, the fish could be used to feed people. But let's go give it to his cat. I mean, I assume, unless that fish was just spoiled or unedible, but, you know, if we're here gathering supplies for the upcoming siege, invasion, whatever. I was spotted, but so what? Oh, because I'm stealing... Oh, then screw this. Like, I'm stealing the food that... Okay. This takes a different turn.
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
I guess I didn't read the whole thing closely enough. So, yeah, everything I was just talking about is actually true. You know, this food is needed for the people, and here we are giving him to the cat. Let me try one more time, just because I don't know why, but sort of puts a real spin on this quest, like, what are we doing? Okay, we've discovered the fish, so basically I've got to avoid the guards. There's two right there, so we're going to skip that. The Shire has some fun quests like this where you're basically like stealing pies, or I don't know what it was, but you know, it felt shirey. This feels a bit like a crime. I don't know, am I allowed to... Am I allowed to, like, skirt the outside of town? Like, could I just leave town, go around the outside of the village?
What brings you to these lands?
Okay, 31,000 XP. For door dashing people food to this guy's cat. You know what, let's get out of here. Let's go break our leg on this side of the cliff.
Nothing has changed. I have not received word from Aedoras that you may pass.
Hunbald's scowl deepens when you declare your intention to pass anyway. Still you defy my charge and that of my king? This cannot be. I cannot allow you to cross the Entwash. It is a command of Theoden King, and I will not betray my duty. The two of you have seen battle, I'm certain of it, but this white-haired fellow has seen none that I can tell. Would you have me raise my sword against an old man?
Wait. There is something familiar about that man. Is it Gleowine?
Gleowine, is that you? The minstrel of Theoden? On what account do you accompany these folk? Gleowine sheepishly steps forward, and you realize that Hunbald was never told of the minstrel's exile. It is you, Hunbald continues. Is it true what the man says? Gleowine responds quickly, and Hunbald muses in silence. After a time, he continues. Gleowine, if you will speak for the others, I will allow the three of you to pass. I am merely a simple man from the Eastfold, but you are held in confidence of the king, and must know his mind more thoroughly than I ever could hope to do. For the good of my king and the Rittermark, I will allow you to pass. Do not make me regret this choice. I would cast my blade aside before I raise it against such as you. Okay. Ride to the barrows outside of the entrance of Edoras. Let's do that. Entwade, okay. So where are we trying to get to? Okay, we're trying to get to Edoras over there. Let's move this over here, I guess. Okay. There is a stable here. Have I already started unlocking... No, I have not. So, I was just sort of, going off a little bit about the quest to...
I do not know if we will survive this onslaught.
With the cat food. But here would be an interesting place to use the stealth, don't get caught by the guards. I could see why it might be annoying or... I don't know what, but that could be interesting, I guess. Because here we are, we're sort of defying King's orders. narratively, it makes sense to have all these rider things going on here. I really am curious, like, if they lean into the mounted combat for the rest of the leveling experience, or if it's just, hey, that was a Rohan thing, now we're out. Because that is my hope. Oh. It's interesting, you know, we're back up here on this road, but you can already see, you know, it started. The crop burning. I might follow this road up to the other town, just unlock that stable really quickly, since we're sort of up here anyway, and then I can, you know, I can stable back or whatever. But yeah, Middlemead has a stable there, so let's unlock that. So I'm not 100% sure what was going on. I possibly underestimated the enemy, but I also felt like I was focusing too heavily on getting a bleed going, because I was trying to have something happen in case the enemy took off. And at least it would still do damage over the time, but then I think I lost track of where my morale was. I was much more expecting to die earlier. Whoops. With those riders in the snow area, but I'm seeing Dunlending warriors. Like, are we getting away from orcs again and back to like the regional conflicts, which again is interesting.
These are desperate times for the Rohirrim.
Okay, so there's... But why is there no... I guess it's my status? I don't know, because I was going to say I unlocked that other stable master, and it's not letting me just... It's requiring a mithril coin to do it. Okay, let's try this ride again. Again, different vibe, right? Like, you know, the other outposts, the other mead hall kind of places we went to, you know, felt like bigger towns. This really feels like a hamlet on the edge of on the outskirts of, you know, down here where we're, I guess, headed. Not even going the right direction. So I'm guessing it somewhere along those towers. There's going to be some kind of ford or bridge crossing this river. I need to do that. Get on the south side of the river and then keep heading west. There's a road, so maybe I'm finally getting back on track. Like, I could see, you know, given some of the things that happened in the movie / books, et cetera, like, I could see war mount shit, like when you get to Mordor and you're doing charges, or like whatever the battle is on that field outside of, is it Minas Tirith? Okay, so here's the ford to get across the river. So I could see, you know, narratively, thematically, it would make sense to not abandon the war mount stuff. But selfishly, I hope they do. And, you know, and again, like, I rag about the lag all the time, and I'm whining about the war mount. Like, please understand that I genuinely love this game. And I'm just going over the top about these few things because there's so little in this game that prevents me from just wanting to play it all the time. So maybe it's a healthy thing that it's in there, but yeah. Like, for what I'm looking for to just sort of soak in Middle-earth, it's just a few things that keep that from being And honestly, the lag is the one that, I know I keep bitching about it, the lag is the one that's more disruptive to me than the war mount stuff. The war mount stuff, you know, as you see, I'm not going to engage with it. I'm going to just sort of, you know, fold my arms and pout, but, you know, you can get by. And if I have to do it every once in a while, I have to do it every once in a while, but the minute to minute is absolutely being devastated. I mean, you're watching it right now. Luckily, mechanically, I'm not doing anything. My headcanon that I usually engage in or I say out loud when I'm riding across the landscape is not kicking in because what is front and center, front foremost in my stream of consciousness is how it's jittery, stuttery, before the gates of Edoras, burial mounds of the king stand. Oh yeah, yeah.
We have returned to Edoras, and death is upon my mind.
Will Theoden King heed the warning we bring, or will he answer our words of caution with admonishment and a more final decree than exile? Horn looks at the mounds of the left and the right side of the road. How long has it been since Meduseld was raised, and how many kings of Rohan sleep here in death? 10 and 6 mounds for 10 and 6 kings. Will the Evermind blossoms cover another mound before this war is through, or will no good men remain to build it? Let us continue into the city. Our errand is urgent, and we have little time for my dark musings. Okay, now we're going to go meet up with Glaywine. Discovered Edoras. Before we do this, I'm going to run over here and just check. Glaywine stops ahead and stares at a white horse. Oh,
These are desperate times for the Rohirrim.
I think what's going to happen, Shadowfax, I have a feeling we are going to sort of overlap with overlap with the actual event in the book where Wormtongue is cast out. I wonder if that's how it's going to handle it. I mean, maybe Gandalf, I don't know. I'm assuming Gandalf is going to be part of it because Shadowfax is right there. So let's see.
Unless I am very much mistaken, that horse is Shadowfax, Lord of the Maris.
The king gifted him to Gandalf the wizard some months ago, rather against his wishes, truth be known. It seems the horse has found his way back home, riderless. The king will be pleased if he does not already know mighty Shadowfax has returned. That will brighten his countenance, for certain. He may be more willing to forgive our defiance of his commands as well. Let us continue onward to the Golden Hall. I am ready. Okay. Climb the streets of Edoras. I know they said Edoras. I'm going to say Edoras to reach the entrance to Meduseld. I don't know if I'm taking the most direct as the crow flies route. I feel like I'm trying to follow the road, but I think I'm getting turned around, and this might not connect to where I'm trying to go, which is over there. Of course, I'm dead stopped because of, again, take a shot, lag. Again, this is, when I was talking about how like the set piece of Isengard was a little spoiled by the mundane fetch quest kind of stuff going on, right? Like, this is a big thing. This is a big moment. This is a big... How do we get to those stairs? This is a pivotal location in the stories of Middle-earth for the fans. And, can't seem to get from here to there without, I thought I heard a story that in the Two Towers, like, hey, when somebody, King Theoden King's daughter, runs out to the stairs and like the banner snaps off the pole and gets carried away by the wind. And I thought I had heard that was like just a random happy accident. It makes for a very beautiful shot. But outside the Golden Hall of Meduseld, the doorward of Theoden bars your way.
What brings you hither against the word of Theoden?
This is not the first time you've come before the Golden Hall of Meduseld. It is in my mind that you were sent from here in disgrace by command of the king. What brings you hither against the word of Theoden? How many unwanted visitors will bring ill news here today? Hama notices your puzzled expression and continues, You're not the only unwelcome guest to come to Meduseld this day. Some are within the Golden Hall at this very hour.
You are not the first to come here today.
Testing the word of my heart against the command of my king. Do I compound an earlier error by allowing you into the hall, or do I make all right with a single throw? Hama sighs heavily. Never have I so rued this post. The will of Theoden is clear, but I do not believe you come here with evil intent. You speak of dangers to the north and all around, but returning here brings the greatest danger upon yourselves. Is that not the truest sign of your good hearts? The king must be told what you have seen. Speak to me when you are ready to continue into the hall, and I shall take your weapons as is the custom. Then you shall proceed before the king, and we will see if I have misjudged you. I hope for your sake and for mine that I have not.
If you are willing, I will take your weapons and bring you before the king.
Know this. Once you step beneath the roof of Meduseld, all chances to repent of your defiance are gone.
We have returned to Meduseld against the king's orders, but we do not seem to be the only ones coming to the Golden Hall to speak words of warning.
Yeah, Gimli, Legolas, Gandalf. So that's how they're going to do it. You're not alone in the hall, Theoden. Of Theoden. Let us approach and see who has the ear of the king, but we will interfere only if it be in the interest of Rohan to do so. A hush hangs over the hall.
Theoden, son of Thengel. I have returned, and I bring warning and wise counsel. A storm is brewing. All good people must stand together or be destroyed.
I greet you, Gandalf, but why should I welcome you? You bring troubles wherever you go. You say a storm brews. I say you are its herald, a bringer of woe and ill tidings.
You speak wisdom, my lord. All around us the news is grim. It is not 1 week since your son and heir Theodred was slain on the western marches. You cannot trust in Éomer. He would empty your city and leave your treasures unguarded. And now Gondor tells us that the Dark Lord stirs once more in the east. It is curious, is it not, that these are the days in which this ragged wanderer returns to us.
A worker of evil may come in fell times, Grima, son of Galmod. But there are also those who come when they are most needed, when days are darkest.
I did not mourn when Shadowfax came back riderless, Gandalf. The return of the horse was made all the greater by lack of the rider.
So it was, my lord. See his rags? Have you ever seen such a beggarly figure?
The courtesy of your hall is not as it was, Theoden, son of Thengel. Has your door ward, Hama, not reported the names of my companions?
I see only churls and vagabonds, and you the worst of them all. Begone with you, and leave my lord to those who do not wish him ill.
You know not of what you speak, Grima Wormtongue.
Uncle. Ah, Black Lodge. I'm glad you made it here from Wildemore so quickly, but I will need to hear your report of that land at another time. All of us have work to do, for the king is not yet free of danger. Keep an eye on Grima, if you would. He is slippery, and I fear he may intend farther harm to the king. Whether he can work greater harm than he already has performed is a question for which I have no answer. Stay on your guard.
Theoden, I offer you my counsel, if you would have it. I have ever been a friend to the House of Eorl, and would not see it come to its ending.
Nor would I, Gandalf. But it is so dark. So dark.
No, my friend. Not all is dark. Behold! Beyond your darkened windows, there is light. The skies shine above, as they always have. Will you heed me?
Now I see the shadows for what they are, Gandalf. They are fleeting, like a grim memory. How came this to be?
So that is done. I think that went rather well, considering what is at stake. We have so little time to waste, and much depends on haste. We cannot spend these precious moments squabbling among ourselves when the real foe lies without. Save one, Grima, son of Gamald, called the Wormtongue. He is an enemy of Theoden and of Rohan, and he remains within. His fate will rest with the king, as it should. Rohan and Theoden are not free of danger yet. Still, we have work to do.
It seems your road entwines with ours for a pace or two more.
I would not celebrate so quickly were I you. War has already come to Rohan, and its drumbeat deepens with every passing hour. We are beset on all sides by evils both known and unknowable, and to be near Gandalf is to be near danger. Gandalf laughs, but his eyes are stern. Grima would say I brought the danger hither. I do not doubt. But I say Gandalf goes where he is needed, and for this day and every day that is to where the danger is deepest. I've got to choose one. It's going to be a little bit of a boost in vitality. This one is a boost in... gives you a bump in finesse. What's this one? Agility. This is going to be the biggest bump to vitality, maybe? I'm going to go with this one for... so the difference between the bottom two is basically might versus agility. I'm going to go with agility.
Much has transpired since last we met, but my companions can give their account.
So yeah, just before I forget, let me see. We're going to lose that one. So this one's might, vitality, physical mastery. This is critical. I'll replace the yellow ones. 75, 72. If I can find them in this list. Let's do a quick sort, see if that helps. Yeah, you know, in Baldur's Gate 3, one of the... I think that just bumped up. One of the most useful things is that you can organize by latest. This is doing it by type, I think. Did I not? Yeah, and what I really need is by latest. Now, are these things the things you need locks for? I lose track. Yeah, I don't I don't know why this is so difficult. There they are. I was about to say, if like one set of earrings is right there, the other set of earrings should be right there as well. Okay. Much has transpired since we last met, but my companions can give you their account. My own would take too long to tell, and from any other would beggar belief. You would trust my tale, I am certain, but then only because you have experienced some things nearly as peculiar. Know this, I bear tidings both glad and sorrowful. The tasks set before our mutual friends at the last homely house are still ongoing. Though some of the company are here with us in the Golden Hall, some others carry still the burden to its destination. The errand's not yet done, but neither is it abandoned. Those be the glad tidings. I will let Aragorn tell you what this joyful news has cost us, for it was not bought without strife. So this is a tough thing. As I mentioned, you know, one of the things that popped up in my feed was the very first episode of this run. And at one point, I was talking about how, you know, what I really enjoyed about the book quests as I remembered them, was familiar with them, was that they weren't just fan service to the already told story in the books and the movies. And then probably 5 minutes after I said that, there's this huge cutscene that's just all fan service, peppering you with like events from around the books and the movies. At some point, I could see it being difficult to not have these things overlap more and more as you get to... It's tough to say because, you know, the main characters were at the focal points. You know, as things start to... You know, at first it's a journey from the Shire to Mordor. But then... And they can be on their way and you could be clearing the path or reconnoitering or doing whatever on the side, because in and of itself, that is not a terribly eventful narrative. But now they've split off, and you got Samwise and Frodo going to Mordor, so they're going to do their thing. But now, like, the important things going on are going to be at Minas Tirith, and the main characters are going to be there. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be this kind of stuff. It's going to be, you know, there. I feel like you run it out of ways to not bump into the main characters quite as much as you go forward. Maybe I'm wrong, but I can see it, you know. Let's see. Okay. I already read that, so now we're going to talk to, Eowyn. She's the one that she steps outside and then the banner gets taken away in the movie.
We meet again, my friend. I am glad of it.
For it seems that... So before I go too far, I guess, like, the idea that we are here as this unfolds, like, okay, go in and stand in the back, I think that might be how I approach it. And we witness it, sure, just to have the lore rub off on us. But I do think... Well, you know, but what the hell? It's fan service, right? Like, if you're this deep in this game, like, it's not crazy to expect some fan service. Okay. We meet again, my friend. I am glad of it, for it seems there's a shortage of friendly faces in this land. One man of honor I met, and he was imprisoned for his kindness to me. You press Aragorn on the matter of Gandalf's cryptic words, and the ranger's face falls. Gandalf gives you the joyful tidings and leaves you the ill news to me. It has been 1 week since our fellowship was sundered on Parth Galen, along the banks of the Anduin. Boromir of Gondor fell there. He gave his life protecting the halflings Meriadoc and Peregrine, but they were borne away by the great orcs of Saruman. Others went another way. I had to make a choice, and I chose it. We could not abandon Merry and Pippin. I do not know if I chose aright. The orcs were destroyed before our pursuit ended, and Gandalf tells me the hobbits found safety. Should I have done otherwise? I cannot say. But now we must do what we can for Rohan and put behind us what regrets we may. That is an interesting thing. Like, you know, he set off on a thing to do. It didn't work. But then it did bring him into the presence of Rohan, and that helps give Saruman his defeat. So it does, like, by taking the other path, it did trigger a series of events that was incredibly important to the fate of Middle-earth.
It is good to see you again, though we are met on the very precipice of danger.
How have you fared since we last spoke? You tell Legolas of your adventures, and his light laughter breezily flies around the hall. What is it that our young friends used to say? You've gone from the frying pan into the flames, and the frying pan was hot enough. You have had adventures to spare. It seems we all have done. I am glad your own journey brought you to Fangorn, as did mine. I could spend years exploring beneath its canopy, never feeling the passage of time, were it not for the pull of that which moves my feet. Once our friends are safe, perhaps I will follow that pull to where it leads. Legolas notices your quizzical expression, and his usual laughter melts away. The sea, Black Lodge, he responds. I speak of the sea. I wonder, is there text from Tolkien where, like, Legolas, like, does he stay? Does he go? Is that answered?
I have cloven a number of orc skulls since we last met, but it is not enough.
It's been several weeks since we last met. What have you done with the time? Level 145 Guardian. That's, again, admirable. I've cloven a number of orc skulls since then, but not enough to satisfy my hatred of the beasts. Some of their ilk led us on a merry chase across much of Rohan, and my chest fills with pride to tell you I outpaced even Legolas on that race. I may have been winded, true, but Gimli, Gloin's son, did not abandon the pursuit without need. When we caught up with the Uruk band at last, they had already been slain by men of Rohan. It has been 2 days since our pursuit ended, and I have nearly caught my breath again. I have never run so far so fast in all my days, and I would be content to stay in one place for the rest of them, if that place were a mountain with good stone and deep roots.
I feel as if a heavy shroud has been lifted from my sight.
My days were filled with dark dreams, and my nights were no different. What foul craft of Grima's is to blame? No, not his doing alone. It was my weakness that allowed him to so dominate my mind. No longer. I am myself again and free of his whisperings. It is well that Gandalf arrived here when he did, and that Hama allowed him to pass the threshold. That transgression I will forgive. Grima may have intended further mischief. Indeed, I am certain of it. Leave Meduseld and speak to Hama. Tell him I want Grima's chamber searched and my sister's son Eomer released from imprisonment. These actions were poorly done and must be righted. Okay. Also, I wanted to say kudos for the decision to go with some extra voice acting there. It's such an important moment in Middle-earth. It's so clearly a huge deal that you don't want to just be like, meh, just read the text, brah.
These are better tidings than I believed possible.
Yes, you returned from within on your own power, which tells me your wager was correct and you will draw breath until tomorrow at least. Hama listens as you recount what befell within the Golden Hall, and his questioning face is soon aglow with smiles. These are better tidings than I believed possible. You are a friend both new and true to bring me such words. Theoden, my king, you have been brought from the darkness by the wisdom of Gandalf. He is the Storm Crow no longer. White Wizard, friend to Rohan and its people, I rejoice to hear it. Theoden King, restored at last.
I will guide you to Grima's chambers, as the king instructs.
We must remain alert, for Grima may have left seeds of some mischief in his chambers. He may still manage to work some evil, and that would be a cruel cut indeed, to know of his treachery and still succumb to it. Grima's chambers are northeast of the steps that lead to Meduseld. Come, I'll show you the way. Whoa, this is going to be a bump. Level 87 Guardian. This is going to be a bump. Yeah, 977. It's a 400 bump in armor. Find the entrance to Grima Wormtongue's chambers. You have found the entrance to Wormtongue's chambers. Do further treacheries await within? Marked page in one of the books reads, "No mere wit he." The chest is tightly locked, and you possess no key for it. A crude map lies on this table, but you cannot discern what it represents. These books detail the geography and history of Rohan, but contain nothing of note right now. Carved into the table is the crude representation of a crying eye. This cabinet stands empty. Did someone get here before you? That's an interesting question. These drawers contain linens and fine clothes rumpled now and in disarray. Beneath the chair, you find a golden key. Oops. Inside the chest, you find items too varied to belong to Grima, including a valuable sword. We collected Herugrim. Okay.
What did you find there?
That is Herugrim, the sword of Theoden. It is possible that the king asked Grima to keep the sword safe in his chest, but such safekeeping is no longer necessary. I will return Herugrim to its master once I have brought Eomer word of his release. For now, bring these other items to Grima and Meduseld and see what he has to say about them. These items are both too varied and too valuable to be his property. I'll warrant, and his explanation for possessing them should be interesting. My intonation was totally off there. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fast travel here. Just get a croft too far off the books. And then I can fast travel back.
You did very well. I need you to do this.
Oh.
Fearing for the safety of my people, I have decreed that my son Giesling is to escort the crofters of Garsfeld to safety within the walls of Snowbourne. However, the road south is fraught with danger as foes approach from all directions.
Okay, the crofters must survive. Giesling must not be defeated. Everyone gather to me. We must make ready to finish our journey to Snowbourne. This is sort of putting, okay, a little bit of a cap, I guess, on this quest line. You know, the idea we were telling people to abandon the farms, retreat, check on stuff. I hope your rest here was enough, for we must press on. It is possible that we will encounter more resistance from our foes as we near Snowbourne, but fear not. Black Lodge and I shall defend you to our very last should that occur. Now then, let us depart with haste. Onward. So again, my fear is that I'm meant to be doing this on a war mount and we're going to encounter riders. And this is going to turn into a mess. Luckily, Giesling's got quite a bit of morale. He's got 10,000 plus. Everyone be on guard, they come for us. Well, that's good. At least they were on foot. The orcs have found us, even this close. Attack. So I confess, I don't, I'm obviously very aware of like Aubrey the Weird One and some other YouTube and Twitch Lord of the Rings online streamers. I do not recall them having these kinds of issues. Like, am I just naive? Is everybody having this much lag? Is there something unique to what I'm going through that's just like, holy cow? I don't want to unfairly malign the game, but like, I mean, you're just watching what's going on here, and this is, it's, I don't know, and I don't feel like I'm noticing that. There are too many. All of you, run. Black Lodge, we must stand and fight. Go for it. Oh, the guards are out. That's good. I was going to say, we're pretty close to the town, so... I don't know what key presses it's going to register. That's not registering anything. Okay. So I think the people made it. Giesling, I think, is going to survive, assuming he ever gets over there. We have made it, and the Crofters are safe. I fear this would not have been possible without your aid. Our journey has only just begun. Are you prepared to continue aiding the people of the Sootcrofts?
Our mission is dire.
Okay, let's see. We've got a tarnished ring or we've got gold earrings. Now the tarnished ring... I might take the ring because I feel like both of these... And I might replace that rider's steel band just because this gives me a lot more stats. It gives me a bump in agility. Yeah, so let me do that.
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
Okay, so now we gotta go talk to the leader here.
The Rohirrim will need your aid.
Okay, and then look for open homes for people. Okay, so we're looking for rings. I think this is the ring I want to replace, the rider's steel band. Again, this is why I'm hesitant to like skip these kinds of... See a brawler, level 87 brawler? Because, you know, again, so we've helped the people evacuate.
You to these lands.
And now it's sort of like dealing with a refugee crisis, right? These people have no place to live. Fastard's seat is vacant, but it appears one of his men remained in the hall.
What brings you to these lands?
Okay. What's your business with the Reeve? You may speak, but he's on his daily orc hunt.
Our success depends upon our strength. Will you aid us?
Race for battle. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head out, and I might start making my way back to the main book quests. Again, but there's a part of me that would be curious to see this through, because apparently there's going to be a refugee crisis. We've got a leader who's not open to their plight, sounds like. So I feel like that could be an interesting dynamic.
The Rohirrim will need your aid.
But anyway, yeah, that feels like it could be an interesting dynamic. And more interesting than, can you steal food from a cat? Defeat orcs. Oops. Does this one count? I'm just sort of bouncing around a little bit because I don't know. Okay, so it was just the same idea where you got to go to the different silos and just kill the enemies. Okay. Okay, that's that. And again, I like the idea of this. You know, the orcs would be hitting food supplies, stuff like that. Oops, hit the wrong button to start. I don't know if this one's going to count as a half orc. Okay, let's just bounce out. Call this one done, and then yeah, I think I'll get back to what I was doing. And also, I think the other thing I need to do is I think I bumped up. There was that one virtue I was looking to. Got 1 point available, but so I'm gonna hold on to that. But I think I finally got determination up a little bit, so I can swap it in for... What's charity give me? Compassion. Maybe instead of vitality? I don't know, we'll see.
Every one of those items was a gift.
What are these things? Why do you show them to me, vile man? You explain that the goods were taken from the chest in his chambers and demand an explanation. Every one of those items was a gift, Grima hisses. You are the thief. I demand that you return those things to my chambers, and when you return to my presence, you come bearing an apology. I have suffered at the hands of these ingrates, and now my own possessions are being paraded before all the court, and my name dragged through the slime? These are the thanks I receive for my months of tireless service to the king. You are a liar, man, and a thief. Your voice drips with poison and your words are all false. I curse thee and beg that some kind heart will defend me from your insults and your slander. Okay, show the stolen items to Theoden.
Where did you get these items?
You say they were found within Grima's chest? I see. Theoden cast a dark look in the direction of his former servant. I will have one of my men restore these items to their proper owners. I am of a mind to send this worm back to his proper owner as well. Would it be a mercy, I wonder? On this day, and in sight of his continued crimes, I am more interested in justice than in mercy. Okay, so we need a jacket. This is going to be the bump in armor. Parry rating, critical defense. Those are both good. What's the other one? Agility, finesse. So this is going to help me do more damage. And this is going to help me block. I'm going to take block. It's armor after all.
Wait. There is one item you should return yourself, as its owner is here in the hall.
Let's get that morale above 8 grand. There we go. Theoden scowls and hands you a delicate cloth. On a corner of the cloth is embroidered the name Eowyn. I'm not so poor a judge as to think my sister-daughter Eowyn intended Grima to have this token of her favor. Return it to her, and she will tell you for whom it was intended. That's true. There was like a creepy thing going on with Grima and Eowyn.
I remember this token. I gave it to my brother to bring him good fortune in battle.
And he wore it on his ranging throughout the mark. It must have been taken from him when he was confined to his chambers by my uncle's command. No, the command was my lord Theoden's, but the words were Grima's, and my brother's confinement was carried out by those men Grima selected. One of them must have taken this token from Eomer and given it to Grima. Had I known this, I would not have allowed it. Bring this token of mine to my brother and tell him our uncle is restored. He's being confined to his chambers in Edoras, north of Meduseld. So I wonder if Book 11 is just like Edoras getting, like, returned to normal. Like the aftershock of Grima's treachery being unmasked, Theoden coming back. I think that's kind of a nice, like, story beat. It makes sense that that could be its own chapter in a way. You have found the entrance to Eomer's chambers, where until today he's been imprisoned by command of the king.
Thank you for bringing me these tidings, friend.
I'm glad to see you are well. Hama has brought me the news that I'm free to leave, but that is not what that's not what lightens my heart. The most joyous tidings are that my uncle Theoden has awakened to the fact of his peril, and his treacherous counselor has been dragged to light. Eomer accepts the embroidered cloth from you and crushes it in one fist. This was taken from me by Forthier, one of Grima's men. I'm pleased to have it back, but I would sooner teach Forthier a lesson about respecting the belongings of others. I was treated well enough by the guards outside my chambers, but my inability to do anything for my family or for Rohan was the cruelest fact of my imprisonment. I spent many hours studying the map of Rohan in the room upstairs, trying to develop a strategy for the defense of the kingdom that could not be undone by Saruman. Go, study the map yourself and see if there is such a strategy. I might have missed, for I came up with little of use. Eomer bad at his job, or is it just tricky, or... Study the map in his chambers. Was it? Nope, it's downstairs. I don't know why I thought it was upstairs. I don't know why I'm struggling with this. Is it upstairs? That's okay. Maybe I'm not crazy. Oh, because it's in the other room. Okay. Okay, so you can sort of study the different regions and get information about them. You study the map of Rohan for a time, but few strategies present themselves to you that could stand against the armies of Saruman.
Return to my sister and give her my thanks and my love.
Did you find some strategy that could serve us against the armies of Saruman? Sadly, I did not, and I had more time to think on the problem than you had. There's no shame in it. Our strength lies in the open fields, but against such numbers as you say Saruman has assembled, I do not think our strength will suffice. The mark is not as defensible as we need it to be. Return to my sister and give her my thanks and my love. I will see her when I return to the hall with Hama. Perhaps we will look at the map once more and see if there is something we missed.
My brother is free of his cage? I delight to hear it.
For soon I too will be free of the cage that binds me. Eowyn's smile brightens her face in the same way as it does the sun breaking through a gap in the clouds. My cage is not made of metal or wood, but it is a cage all the same. In a time of peace, it confines me to the Golden Hall and its outbuildings. But when war threatens, it cannot hope to withstand the force of our great need. I am a shield maiden of Rohan, and I take up sword and spear to defend this land and its people. My uncle must surely ride now to Isengard to challenge Saruman, and I will not hesitate to take up arms and ride with him.
All the people of Rohan will need to stand if the kingdom is to survive.
But their king must do so first.
The time has come for Theoden to step beyond the confines of his hall.
Speak to the king and see if he is willing to do this.
I am ready to look out upon my city with unclouded eyes.
Free from the shroud of Grima's whispers, will you walk with me as well?
Theoden King has stepped beyond his hall to look upon the kingdom. What will he see, I wonder? And will it move him to strike down the evils arrayed against his people?
Theoden King has gone ahead with Gandalf. Do you think he's forgiven us? I know in my heart we returned for the good of the kingdom, but it is a serious crime to disobey the word of a king. My heart is aflutter, friend.
We returned in time, but should we have returned at all?
Gleowine still believes we will be punished, but my mind is not troubled. We returned to Theoden at the right moment for forgiveness. Was Gandalf not sent away with equal force, and yet now he has the ear of the king and speaks wisdom to him? We return without the insight of the wizard, but we bring something valuable all the same. Warning of Saruman's reach and power. That warning, too, has value to the king, and when he chooses his course, he will weigh what we have to say alongside the words of his advisors.
We returned with time enough to protect the king. That is what matters now.
Now we will hear the commands of Theoden, and learn if we have truly come to him in time. Rohan stands at a crossroad, and it's up to her king to choose the correct course. We will help him choose aright, to the sorrow of Saruman. It is not magic that Gandalf uses to cure Theoden of the hurts that Saruman and his agent Grima have wrought. No, our wise friend seeks to cure Theoden with words. Words of friendship and hope. Already I see it working.
I place my trust in Gandalf. He has never failed that trust.
The air is fresh and clean, and the tall grasses sway in the breeze. From here we can look out over the fields of Rohan. See how the sunlight dances upon that distant river? It's been some days since Theoden beheld his own lands, I warrant. Grima gave him report of them, but always in such a way as to advance his own ends, and those of Saruman, his master.
You speak of a secret hope, Gandalf, but my heart is heavy. Alas for Boromir of Gondor! Alas for my own son, Theoden! The young and strong perish, while the old linger on. It is a cruel turn.
Your strength is not gone, my friend. It lacks only your sword to return in full force.
Ah, where is Herogrim? Grima took it to keep it safe. Where might he have stowed it?
Take this blade, my lord. It was always yours to command.
Arise, riders of Theoden.
Command us, my lord.
We must stamp out the threat of Saruman. Hama, bring Grima before me. This time he redeemed his treachery.
Aye, my lord.
But you, my guests, deserve the hospitality of my house. I have been a poor host.
No, Theoden King. The men of Rohan must ride today, and we will ride with them.
Yes! You will be welcome, Aragorn, as will your friends.
Be not overconfident, Theoden King. Isengard is strong, and other perils there are also. After we have gone, you must not delay. Lead the rest of your people to the hold of Dunharrow.
My people will go to Dunharrow, but I will not bring them there. I will ride to war, to fall in the front of the battle, if that is the need.
The Lord of the Mark will ride.
Who then will lead your people to safety?
I will think on that before I go. Here comes my counselor.
My lord, you should come in from the hot sun. Your meat is nearly ready. Can others not deal with these troublesome guests? Let Grima send them away.
No, Grima. I will ride to war as I should have done long ago. And you will ride with me.
Grima's eyes dart back and forth from face to face, sizing up the assemblage. My lord, can you not see what this wizard and his ragged band seek to achieve? They do not care for your health or for your safety and seek to lead you into danger. Your death would grieve them little, but there are those close to you who would mourn even the smallest hurt to your person. Listen to Grima and come back inside. Abandon the madness these cruel ones have instilled in your mind. Let me send them away. Speak not of war. That is a young man's endeavor, and you have ruled the mark for many seasons. Will you not listen to your faithful Grima? Send me not away.
But I do not send you away, Grima. I ask you to ride at my side and thereby prove your faith. Will you do this?
A lord of the House of Eowl may have the stomach for war, but I am only a humble servant. Let me stay behind, a faithful steward to keep your hall until your return.
This is not going well for Grima. Grima hisses at you, his eyes narrowed unpleasantly. Do not disturb my lord more than you have already. He is weary and he needs his rest. Only when you and your irksome friends leave his lands will he be once again at peace. Let's see what Éomer has to say about that. Do you hear how desperately he wishes to be relieved of this charge? If that plea does not excuse Grima from war, I can think of no other that will. I would not trust him to carry a sack of grain into the mountains, for fear he would steal either the sack or its contents, whichever he thought we would desire more. My uncle's no fool. He will not humor this request. Enough. Grima succeeds again, if not at his truest goal, then still at one of value to his master. For Saruman is his master, and every hour we delay plays into his hands. We can spare no more time on him.
He is not a man, but a snake. You cannot bring it safely along, nor can you leave it behind. Give him a horse, and judge him by the choice he makes, whether to ally with you or with Saruman, his master.
No, do not harm him. My mercy is now ended. If I see him again, it will not go well with Grima. I go forth to battle. It is like to be my last riding. And Theodred, my heir, is slain. Who shall I leave behind to rule in my stead? Is there no man? In whom do my people trust?
We trust in the house of Earl.
But Eomer is the last of that house, and I need his sword armed. He cannot be spared.
I did not name Eomer, nor is he the last. There is his sister Eowyn also, fearless and true of heart. All love her. Let her lead the Erlingers while we are gone.
You speak wisdom, Hammer. So it shall be. Eowyn will rule the people in my stead and lead them to Dunharrow and safety. I ask that you and your friends help her with this burden.
All right. Let's see, talk to Aragorn, talk to Éomer, talk to Gandalf. I have long known there was strength still in this land, and in its king. Theoden's decisions on this day are not a surprise to me, and they should have not been surprising to you either.
There is strength in Theoden, and that strength will flow into his people.
If its king is strong, so will be the kingdom. Gladly I will ride to Isengard with Theoden and his men, there to demand Saruman cast down his staff. Friends of mine were endangered by the commands of that wizard, and I have a debt to repay on that score.
I have been given my freedom, and now I ride to war with my king.
It is a far better day into which I walk than the one I left. We will show Saruman that Rohan is strong. For too long he has done as he will, but now we will remind him that this land is not his to despoil. My road leads west with the king, but he has asked you to assist Eowyn at Edoras. I am certain there will be no lack of deeds that will need doing, but if you have an opportunity, perhaps you could see how fares Aldburg in the Eastfold. That town is my home, and it would be a comfort to my mind to know that you have kept an eye on it. There is no hurry. Assist Eowyn with her preparations here first, but keep Aldburg in mind while I'm away if you would.
It is good that Theoden takes action to protect his people.
Saruman's greatest ally for these past months has been the inaction of Theoden, sown by the whisperings of Wormtongue. How many orcs were given free passage across the fields of Rohan? Even one would be too many, and it was much more than a single orc. I do not say that Theoden rides to victory. It's good that he comes forth, but the armies of Saruman are vast, and I do not know if the Rohirrim can meet them on the field.
For too long have I stayed beneath the roof of my home.
No more will I delay. I will ride forth to Isengard with my warriors, and we will demand Saruman that the Rohirrim we will remind Saruman that the Rohirrim still live. My sister-daughter Eowyn will chafe at my command that she remain behind and make the people ready to leave Edoras, I know. but she will carry out my wish. Speak to her outside the Golden Hall and lend her what aid you may in this.
There is no honor in this. Why must I stay behind?
Why must I remain behind while my brother and my uncle ride to war? Do they care more for Rohan than do I? No. I would fight as hard for the people of the Mark as any man, and mayhap with even greater ferocity. Eowyn's eyes blazed with a dangerous fire for a moment, and her fists clench and unclench. I will do as my king commands. This duty has been given to me, and I will carry it out as best I may, though it not be my desire. None will say that Eowyn betrayed the word of her king. I will protect the people of Edoras and see them to safety, while the battle rages elsewhere. It may come to us in the end, and if it does, I will be ready. I will need your help in the meantime. Alright, so we get to choose a ring. It's all displeasure, anger, ire. So this one's going to give us maximum power, fate, will. This one's going to give us agility, physical mastery, and this one's might and power and fate. I think I might go with the physical mastery and agility.
There are many things to do before the people can leave for Dunharrow.
So before we go on, let me just see which ring I want to replace here. Eowyn's displeasure. It's interesting. Do I lose? I feel like the one on the right's giving me more bump and parry. I'm gonna get I feel like the ring on the left has lower vitality, but the other stuff overall might be better. The one on the right gives me more might, which I imagine gives me damage. In power combat regen, that's pretty big. In defense, I don't know, is power though a problem? Do I usually run out of power? I don't think so. So I think I'm gonna replace the Brunston's copper ring, the level 87, which is that one. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. Let's see. So that's done. There are many things to do before the people of Edoras can leave for Dunharrow. My uncle's command must be brought to the townsfolk. Wagons must be loaded with provisions, belongings gathered, and there are like to be some naysayers who refuse to follow the king's will. Take this proclamation and read it before the people at several locations throughout the city. Start with the market north of Meduseld's steps, and then work down through the streets of Edoras. Word will spread quickly. It has already begun to do so, but the king's command must be brought to the people so the preparations for their departure can be made. Not everyone will be pleased. Be kind if you can, but keep your resolve strong. This must be done. Theoden King has commanded it. Okay. Let's accept. Let's do this. So let's head to the market down here and read the proclamation. This is my own ignorance. I assume Dunharrow is another word for Helm's Deep. This market is a good place to read the proclamation. You read the proclamation aloud, and several people nearby begin to mutter darkly. Baduhild reluctantly agrees to leave the city. Anwind grumbles, but reluctantly agrees to leave Edoras. I assume we can't reforge anything.
Greetings, friend of the Rohirrim.
Yeah. While I'm here, though...
We travel swiftly, but we will aid you as best we may.
Yeah, I don't... Alright, let's get rid of that. Seriously, I'm gonna just start selling these Gambit to buff duration, all that stuff. I just don't know what to... Or just, maybe I should just shove it in a chest somewhere. I guess the question is, maybe what I should do is I should just, like, look up a wiki. Like, just once and for all, somebody please explain to me, and not, you know, not in a passive way, but let me go and, you know, read up once and for all, get an idea of what they're trying to do, and just start making usage. Because I feel like, not that I'm, like, actively engaging with every single system, obviously. I mean, obviously. But I do feel like that one can't hurt. Okay, read the proclamation aloud at the stairs northwest of Meduseld. Yeah, again, frame rate's like 40, 50. By these stairs is a good place to read the proclamation. Okay. You read the proclamation, and an old woman seeks to catch your eye.
Do you have a time to spare an old woman, tidings bearer?
I have heard the commands of Theoden King and would obey, but it has been many years since Ethrith felt the bloom of youth, and I do not have the strength I once did. My belongings are bundled in this crate, but I cannot carry it down the hill to the Dunharrow wagon without help. The wagon is to the north of here, if you follow the road. Can you bring my possessions to the wagon north of here? Just follow the road. Ethrith will be in your debt. Okay, you leave Ethrith's belongings on the wagon as she asked, okay. The entrance to the courtyard is a good place to read the proclamation. Okay. Talk to, Duraloff. I was having trouble reading the name on the quest, but let me do it here.
Everyone must obey the word of Theoden King.
And I know everyone who's not going to fight needs to leave Edoras, but those men over there were laughing, and I heard them insult the name of the king. You're not going to let them escape justice, are you? Everyone has to obey the word of Theoden King. Was I able to... Oh, it's a milestone. That's why I was like...
What gives you the right to order us out of our homes?
Maybe those are the commands of Theoden, and maybe they are not. Maybe they're the words of Gandalf. Maybe the wizard is working against us and just wants our treasures for himself. Do they not say that trouble follows him wherever he goes? I will teach you a lesson, man. I will teach you what happens when you do the bidding of wizards. Oh, this is going to go badly for you, sir. I yield, I yield. Okay, read the proclamation aloud at the courtyard. Okay. There's a bunch of rings there. I assume that's like the task board or whatever. There were other dissenters that were sort of by these stairs is a good place to read the proclamation. You read the proclamation aloud, and several people nearby begin to grumble. After a brief discussion, Cullinan agrees to leave Edoras. Harith listens to your words and eventually agrees to obey the king. I didn't stop. It's just... Level 89 Hunter, very nice.
It will be some time before all the people are ready to leave, but this is a start.
Okay. You've done as I asked. Good. It'll be some time before all the people are ready to leave, but every journey must begin with preparation, especially one as important as this. So again, this is going to be a nice upgrade. For the raw armor stat, this is agility. So this gives us more of what we already have. What does this expulsion do? A little more defense. I'm going to go with more of what we have.
Grima has fled the city, but I believe some of his allies remain.
Almost at 8,500 morale, so we're really bumping up quickly. There are still so many tasks we must see to completion before the people are ready to leave Edoras, but something worries me at the back of my mind and divides my attention. When you searched Grima's chambers with Hama, you told my uncle that the room was already in disarray, as if it had been searched before you arrived. Why would Grima leave his chambers in such a state? If he was seeking something specific, surely he would know where to find it. No, I think his room was searched by someone entangled deeply within his schemes. Grima has fled the city, but it is my belief that this ally at least remains. Among his papers you collected was the cryptic phrase, "No mere wit, he," and a number of other writings. I do not know what they mean, but mention is made of a number of locations throughout Edoras. Go and see some of these and see if you can find sign of Grima's friends or allies. Alright. So we're gonna... Where's a good... I guess... Right there? Okay. I know I was being such a little whiny bitch about the lag and whatever, because this is a moment, right? We are getting Edoras ready, I think, to flee to Helm's Deep, making the preparation. This is such a moment in the stories of these books that I want to, nope. I want to just revel in it, because it's the magic of this game, you know? Did someone put this pile of timber here with plans to set it ablaze? Oh, here we go. Hebeka. Hebeka was an ally of Wormtongue, but are there others? Okay, once one location searched. What does this do? Oh, none of us are doing this for free, Worm. Remember that we expect to be paid well for our services. If you think we're common brigands, you aren't as sharp as that blade you carry around. If you aren't careful, you'll find it in your back next. And maybe the old man will find another to do his bidding. Maybe that's one of us. You say you can't grant me the burg, but I'm no dealing with sword or jewels on my own. But I'm not dealing with sword of jewels on my own. If the old man values you as you say he does, why is he not giving you the run of the place? Once it's all done, signed L. On another parchment in the same hand, F says he'll bring the weapons out of the guardhouse on the morrow and leave them by his side wall. Are you certain the king will stay inside? We've not seen him in weeks, but he does still command the loyalty of the people. Only he can stop this now that E is imprisoned. F assures me that E will not be a problem. He spends day and night poring over that map, raging against his confines, but will not disobey the king. L. On a scrap of parchment in a different hand, the Blood Eye thinks we should act quickly. He says Gandalf is coming back. How could he know this? Signed H. This page is almost illegible, written in a hasty hand. Which tower? There are several along the northeast wall of the city. I do not know if L is going to put wood at the proper tower. You need to talk to him before we act. He wanted me to ask about the contents of the chest as well. You say it will burn, but it is very sturdy and may not spread to the southeast gate. If the chest burns but the fire does not spread, H says it'll be your head. Signed F. Okay. So yeah, we get a little... We just probably dealt with one of the people writing on the parchment, so you get some correspondence between the conspirators. This strong box is scorched as if it was set on fire, but the blaze did not spread. Up here's L, Leofing. Leofing was an ally of Wormtongue, but are there others? Okay, so we're trying to get... I mean, that seems like it's a significant structure, so let's see Is it like a main guardhouse, or is it something more? You know, so I've probably at some point in my life in this streaming Let's Play talked, like my specs are like a AMD 9950. That's my processor. I've got like 96 gig of RAM because I had trouble. I used to have like 4 32 gigabyte sticks, but for some reason my motherboard just freaked out when I tried to put 4 sticks in. So I got 2 48 sticks. And I've got a GeForce 4080. Now, the only reason why I mention all of that is because I know for a fact that my rig is powerful enough to play this game. So is it like a weird setting that causes lag? Is it something on their end? Again, I at one point mentioned that Aubrey the Weird One mentioned that it was like a burglar, something that was causing a problem. But again, like I just don't know if other people are having the same issues that I'm having. Is it a setting that I can turn off or turn down? Like, is it shadows that jams me up, even though I feel like my card can handle it? You know, because when I was running around town a second ago, I was getting frame rates in like the 40s. And again, is it just that the game's held together by, you know, duct tape and bubblegum at this point? These weapons are out of place. Why were they moved here? I like playing games as maxed out as possible. Even though I don't quite always chase the latest and greatest specs. I did though, when I turned 50, I was like, I'm going to upgrade my computer, and I definitely went for pretty potent specs geared more towards the content creation. But I felt like they would handle gaming decently as far as the CPU. I didn't upgrade my GPU though, just because at the time, and it's not that this has changed. I feel like the 5080 series is not that much of a jump over the 4080, although probably some aspects of video editing might be. But I've started using my computer. I use a work computer more than I did for work, and this is just for DaVinci Resolve.
You found some of Grima's allies and defeated them? Good.
Those snakes would have caused trouble for us, especially once my uncle rides to Isengard. I hope that was all of them. I still do not understand all of the mysteries you uncovered in Grima's chambers, but perhaps we have ended the schemes that were plotted there. My uncle and his riders are ready to depart. Okay, we're going to get a bump in vitality, will, power, morale, or agility and fate, maximum morale, or might. I'm going to go with agility and fate. Yeah. Level 88 burglar, very nice. I like seeing that.
My preparations continue, but my uncle's are complete.
Okay, so we're looking to lose the yellow bracelets. My preparations continue, but my uncles are complete. Now he rides to Isengard into war. I will remain behind as he is commanded, but my thoughts will dwell upon him until his return. Enter the Golden Hall and see if he has further commands for those of us who will remain. '87 Rune Keeper. Yeah, I confess the Rune Keepers never caught my interest. I would rather play the other one. Why am I forgetting? The one that the Lore Master. If I had to go magic.
The riders are ready to depart, as am I.
We will ride to Isengard and remind Saruman of what he has forgotten, that the Rittermark is not for his taking. It belongs to Earlingus. It belongs to the Iralingas. I'm trying to say that in a way that's not quite so dirty. Iralingas, who will refresh his memory with sword and spear. I know that Eowyn is unhappy with her charge, and she would be on the forefront of the battle if I allowed her to ride with us. It would console her a little to know that it is not her safety I seek to ensure with my command, but that of my people. They need someone to lead them in my absence, someone to give them hope for better days to come. They need Eowyn to be strong, and I know she will be. Another spear at Isengard will avail us little. A shield at home may be the difference, at the last. I'm ready to ride. Let me know when you are ready to see us off.
It is time.
Theoden King has mustered a force of more than 1,000 spears and prepares to ride for Isengard. Will he return to Edoras in this life?
Gandalf was right. I have sat in the shadows of my hall for too long. It's good to breathe the clean air once more and to feel the breeze upon my face. Grima's whisperings made me forget, but now the memory of good has returned to me, and in greater force than before. Welcome to the Aways, Black Lodge. I have a request to make of you.
Forward, snowmen!
While I ride to
Isengard, I would have you lend your aid to those who remain behind.
Our friend does not ride with us.
There are dangers both behind and ahead, Eomer.
I'm a little nervous that I've been muted this whole time. The host is assembled and ready to ride, but there is still one matter I would see resolved. Will you find Gleowine and bring him before me? There is still the matter of his punishment to be settled. So yeah, if I have been muted since for the last couple minutes, one, I apologize. Two, at least the fact that I was reading the stuff out loud will leave this stuff up, hopefully for you to read it. Let's see what Gleowine has to say. The king has chosen this moment to reveal his punishment. I am prepared. Whatever my king decides will be just. I'm ready.
I am ready.
Gleowine, do you know why I have called you before me?
I do, my king. My friends and I return to Aedoras against your direct command.
Why did you do this?
We did this out of love, my king, and fear. Love of the Mark, and fear for its people.
I share this love, Gleowine, and this fear. But a king's word is law, and must be obeyed. You will not escape judgment.
That is just, my king. I submit to your will.
I ride to war. It is like to be my last riding. I need a minstrel by my side to record the deeds that await.
My king?
It will be your burden to witness my final days, if this be they, and record them in song.
You will return from the battle, my king.
That may be so. Do you accept my judgment?
I do, my king.
Okay. Again, because like I've talked about before, when my voice starts to go, I need to clear my throat, cough, and so I've been a little more active on the mute button the last 15-20 minutes, and I think I screwed it up once, so it's done. Each of the three of you, Gleowine, Horn, and the man with whom I now speak, will serve Rohan in the ways for which you are best suited, and scrub away the black mark incurred by defying my command. Now it is time to depart. Aid my sister-daughter, Eowyn, as the people journey to Dunharrow, and we will and wish us well in the battle. With good fortune, we will overcome and put an end to Saruman's treacheries at long last.
Forth, Eorlingus!
So I can't tell. So there's a setting on my audio device that I thought would play my hello. I thought it would give me a little more feedback in my ear, and it's giving me a little bit, but it's barely there. I was hoping. I don't have a great way to hear myself talk because I don't want it to be overwhelming, but I feel like this is a little low. Like it's at full blast and I can barely hear myself at all.
So they are gone. May they ride to victory.
But maybe there's a way to adjust that bit. But if I could just get a little bit more feedback out of this, then I could hear when I'm actually talking and when I'm not talking a little more clearly. So they are gone. May they ride to victory. It is now up to those of us who remain to carry out my uncle's will and the wishes of those who ride with him. I hope we are both up to the challenge, Black Lodge.
I have need of your aid.
With my uncle Theoden bringing the war to Saruman, there remain a great many things to do in the Westham net. To the east, the river fort of Entwade lies along the Entwash's shores and has held the wade for years innumerable. Thane Edric commands the post and holds but a few men in his service. The White Hand has pressed into the king's lands as of late, and the cost of losing the Wade would be unknowable. I have many matters to attend to in my uncle's stead, but I know there is a task for which your skills are suited. If you would aid me, I will have your steed readied for the journey at once. Yeah, let's go. Okay, so we're in Entwade, so where did that actually put us? Kingstead. Where did it put us? I assume somewhere in here, so let's start looking around. I'm a little nervous. This is Edric. Who's this? Level 89 Hunter. Securing the Wade.
Invaders have wrought this misery upon us. There are not enough curses in the world for the invaders of the lands of Rohan.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out... Okay, let me read this. Well then, welcome to Entwade, traveler. I have little time to spend chatting with one so ill-acquainted with the troubles of Rohan. The king has ridden west and left me many problems and not enough men to handle them. But be him renewed or not, my people still have been forgotten. Look to my side, traveler. My wife, Leoflad, struggles to make ready to evacuate my people to Aldburg. Such a task would be difficult even if the Uruks were not riding our plains, but such things are commonplace under Theoden King. Let me speak no more. There's a little disgust going on here, for my wife thinks such things bode ill for my temper. If you would help us prepare, we would be grateful for your aid, though I know not how much I can repay you in these dire times. Okay, so let's see what the helmets are going to be. Again, another nice bump. Agility, finesse rating, or agility, critical defense, parry rating. I'm going to go with this one. Oh, not ready to do that yet. Okay. Yeah, I wish I could get a little more of my voice. My fear is that the answer is to boost up the headphones. Let me just see something really quickly. One of these... If I turn off the system sound, let me see if it mutes entirely in OBS. It does not. Interesting. Okay, so it's just going to my headphones. So I can potentially turn down the game audio without impacting OBS. And then I bump up... Okay, I can bump up my headphones. Interesting. Okay. All right, so that is one possible solution. And maybe I can turn this down a little. It's interesting. You know, I've got a Roland Bridgecast X, and I'm using DT990 Pro headphones, which I think are on the quieter side. I think they really... I don't know if that means they're like low impedance. There's a word for it. Oh, this is much better. Yeah, now I can tell. Danger and silence.
There are not enough curses in the world for the invaders of the lands of Rohan.
Danger and silence. Okay, let me talk. There's a couple of quests here.
There are not enough curses in the world for the invaders of the lands of Rohan.
Okay, I'm basically just loading up some side quests. But yeah, this is...
need of your services.
This is a mistake I make way too frequently, so I feel like figuring this out. But the Roland Bridgecast X has a way to like boost your headphone output. Now I don't know... I have like a splitter on my headphone output because I use like earbuds when they're more comfortable, but they don't work quite as well. And then I also use the headphones, and I can only have one at a time. And I wonder if that dilutes the signal a little bit of the already quieter headphones. But then there's like this thing that you can use to boost the headphone output. But then when I put the earbuds in, it's blasting. So there's no good solution, I guess. I mean, it's not a real problem. Again, gather people of Entwade. The thing I'm curious about, though, but yeah, this, like I said, this is a mistake I make way too frequently, so if I can just, get this a little bit more dialed in without, like, introducing any hiss or anything like that. I think this is just the output to my headphones. I don't think it's actually doing anything else. So maybe this is the answer. What I'm not sure about is... the 8900 we've been sort of seeing intermittently. What I'm not sure about what's going on is the book quest. This is, we were sent here as part of the book quest, but I'm not seeing... And again, lag is kicking in. So I'm not sure what the progress is. Like, did we complete the book? But it's, already in use, I know. That was like 20 seconds ago. Okay.
Welcome, my friend.
Danger and silence. He wishes to know what's become of our foes. Urks still right along the plains. Okay. God.
Greetings, friend of the Rohirrim.
Okay, let's do that. Let's talk to the inhabitants. We're supposed to gather 5 of them. That was one thing, like when I used to use the roadcasters, I always seem to, it was one of the many things I didn't understand. I always seem to have the faders set up so that it wasn't controlling the microphone levels to my headphones. It was actually, I think, affecting the microphone output as a whole. So, like, I also had trouble gauging proper feedback so I could hear myself. Level 88 Runekeeper. Maybe, again, same person we've been seeing about. Yeah, but, man, that Roadcaster duo. The Roadcasters as a whole, kind of disappointing. Like, being able to speak on my PlayStation 5 is, less and less important. I said that on my, Walk of Shame video. But, it's frustrating.
Our hope lies in strength, but the servants of the enemy are everywhere.
So we're getting reports about orc activity, and he spied orcs crossing the Endwash. So that's kind of what this quest is. When we're talking to the actual soldiers instead of the gathering people.
What brings you to these lands?
Okay, so here he's saying they've stolen horses from the Broadacres. Oh man, this is so much better. Now I can tell I'm actually so stupid. It's a balance, because you do it too much, it becomes overpowering and distracting, and when I use like closed back headphones, I also found it pretty distracting. Open back, it's not quite so bad. I just need a hint of it to know what's happening. Okay, so I think we've gathered all the people. But what I need to do is I need to look at our quests. Because I'm not seeing any books.
The White Hand is wicked.
Okay, so he's saying we're going to have to strike at those orc threats.
What brings you to these lands?
Okay, so she's like, it's good that we got the people to gather, so we're going to try and keep them together. Okay, so maybe this is the last. There's 3 things we need to do to assist them. So maybe we just go out. Sorry, I'm about to cough. So maybe we just go outside the gate, cross the river, and then we can... Nope, wrong way. So I'm getting some noise outside, so I might talk less for a minute. And then curious if that was a tough fight. So let's see how this goes. Not gonna lie, a little disappointed there because I feel like, again, maybe I went in a little too early. These fights are tougher than I realized, but also lag. Like I had to pop those abilities because, like, the lag, I was going to get killed again. Gonna give it another moment. I mean, I feel like maybe now I've got enough morale, but let me just get to full health and then we'll give it another shot. I mean, if part of it is like I'm at a disadvantage because I'm not mounted and they are, and I actually respect that a lot, if that's why I'm sort of getting my ass kicked a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I absolutely respect that if that's the case. Like if I were on a war mount, the damage would be mitigated. I get that. But also, as you can see, they hit hard, so... This is precarious. Time for lag to kick in, because I don't know what... Like, I can't afford to screw up this gambit. And I don't know... Gotta get something going. Because sometimes what'll happen, I'll just miss key presses, like it doesn't let me... Like, it didn't register, and I don't know it hasn't registered yet, so... I'm, like, waiting with bated breath, like, do I fire it off? Did I do it? Like... And when you're, you know, that close to the edge there, it's enough to get you killed. Oh, crap. This is going to be bad. If, level 89. Like, that might be the Mariner we've been seeing around. It's got a lot of bonuses going. He's got, like, at least 3 plus 25%. 4. So is he getting, like, 100% there, or is it all... Is it not cumulative? Again, cutting it close, but luckily I have that back, because one of those will heal me up a bit. It's definitely this restorative shield work. Okay. I'm really curious to know, like, how is this playing into the book quest, because, you know, that's how I, you know, determine stopping points. Now, this recording's been going for a little lower than 3, a little more than 3. It's hard to say, because but... So it's not an insignificant chunk of time.
There are not enough curses in the world for the invaders of the lands of Rohan.
Of course, the last one was like 7.
There are not enough curses in the world for the invaders of the lands of Rohan.
Okay, so we're going to get a nice helmet out of it, a nice bump. We got agility, fate, physical mastery, and this one's parry, critical defense, agility. I'll take this one.
There are not enough curses in the world for the invaders of the lands of Rohan.
I don't know if you know this, but there's not enough curses in the world for all the invaders of Rohan. Okay, prepared for the worst. I still don't know where the book quests lie in all this. Talk to Sirik. I mean, this is what we were asked to do, right? But I just don't know, like, did we finish the book and then it's just doing this until something kicks in? Maybe upstairs?
It is a sad thing to watch your lands die.
Okay. You bring Eld's Hidings. I knew of a great many threats in Kingstead, including the Uryx to the north and west, but these orcs have crossed Uryx to the north and west, but these orcs have crossed the shores. They complicate the already wide front of Entwade. We will need to deal with such things very soon. I'll speak with my men of what is to be done. Check out the map. Alright, the notes are primarily comprised of terse, unsent missives. The map's heavily marked with numerous forces being noted in central and eastern Kingstead. Okay. Talk to Womar.
Hail, traveler. Are you here to help us?
I mean no offense, but I wish that the others had spoken with us sooner of such concerns so that the plans might have already been formed. This person's hearing noises about town. They're gonna have to investigate.
It's a sad thing to watch your lands die.
Now he's talking about how Womar is inexperienced, his spirit is strong though, and I know that in time he shall become a fine warrior. Ho, did you hear that? I believe Edric has returned and the people have set off. You should speak with him below when you're able, okay? Leoflad and the others have begun their journey, and I pray that their travel is swift and unhindered. And I shall send word to them in Aldburg when such time is afforded me. Okay, let's speak of other matters. Let's see. Leoflad and my people have set off for Aldburg. We're going to have to aid Thane's Edric's men in securing Entwade. 0-7. Safety weighs heavily upon me. This, of course, brings me to you. You have come to our lands and aided my people well. There are many matters to attend to in Entwade, and all of them are of dire importance. Without a concerted effort, there can be no way to address them all before time runs out.
I do not understand why we delay here.
Okay, board up the home. So, okay, now we're just going to get like a whole crush of side quests, but again, I need to know where I stand with the book quests.
Do you bring provisions?
Okay, hearing noises, so I'm going to search the bathrooms, I guess, at night. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop here for this session. I don't know if I finished the book. If I haven't, it'll be a part 1 and a part 2. I'll sort of try and figure that out. But I'm going to stop here for now because I'm just not sure what's going on with the book quest. The lag is unbelievable. And actually, you know what? Here's what I'm also going to say. I need to sit on this a little bit. This lag is so bad that I need to figure out either how to continue without such a problem, or to just pause until it gets resolved. I don't know what to do exactly, because I'm really... I don't know what to do because I'm enjoying this and because I know this is stuff that, you know, some people come here for, but I gotta tell you, it is unplayable at times. And I know I complain about it, but it's getting ridiculous and I need to... Now, luckily, there's a lot of distance between when I'm recording this and when it's going to go up. So maybe in that time, hopefully I can solve the problem. But if I can't, woof. I'll make a post. I'll do something just to update what's going on if I can't figure it out. But because I don't want to. I mean, no, that's not true. I absolutely want to keep playing this, but it's brutal at times. And yeah. Anyway, thanks again to everybody who checked this out. I don't know if this is the right stopping point, but we appreciate it as always. If you're watching this, you found our YouTube channel, like and subscribe if that's your thing. We're mainly a tabletop RPG actual play podcast. At the time of this recording, we just did, we're about to hopefully get back into Simbram in the rotation. We have done some Bonfires walk with me. There's some stuff going up for that. We have a Discord. We organized a couple of sessions of Dragonbane. The next one will be done before this goes up. So maybe the adventure will be complete by the time you're hearing this. But yeah, check all that stuff out. If you prefer audio versions of like our actual plays or some of the podcast discussion topics that we get into, just search for Black Lodge Trivia Night wherever we get your audio and we should show up. So again, thanks to everybody who checked this out. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to be doing with this in the future, given how bad this lag is getting. I need to spend some time figuring it out. And yeah, luckily the time shift between when I record this and when it goes up hopefully will give me that time to figure something out, but it's getting pretty rough. So thanks again, and hopefully we will be back soon with more of Volume 3, getting into Book 12 maybe. That's where we're at. So thanks again. Take care.